Hello and welcome. This is BQ Prime. I am Agam Vakil, and you are watching the F&O Show, a show in which we take you through all that is happening in the futures and options space in Indian equity markets. At the moment, we are seeing strength in the Nifty, and the banking space really hasn't had too much of an impact on the major benchmark, which is in fact currently trending in the green, marginally so, but the banking sector and the banking index, the Nifty Bank, is down by as much as nearly 1% at the moment. This is, of course, after RBI has decided to tighten some screws with respect to unsecured lending, and that has certainly had an impact on a handful of banks out there. Some of them are also large caps. So for the moment, while the Nifty remains flat, we have weakness in the Nifty banking space, and naturally some amount of longs building into the Nifty banking futures as well. As far as the option market goes, in the moment, we are seeing a lot of traction around 19,800, as one might expect, considering, the Nifty is around that mark. So we do have max OI, and this is, of course, this coming week's expiry. Max OI around 19,800 call and the 19,700 put. This keeps on rapidly changing, as one might expect. But as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, in terms of the most active options, we continue to keep an eye on the 43,800 mark, and that not only the calls and puts for both the strikes are seeing addition in OI, but we're also seeing max OI around 43,800. So that's the level we're watching out for. The futures, of course, is just 40 points above 43,800 at the moment. The question is, where do we go from here, and what do we make of these data points? Let's get in an expert view then. We have Shilpa Rout of Prabhudas Lilladher joining us. Shilpa, good morning, and thank you so much for joining in. What are you making of these market moves, keeping in mind what we've seen through the course of the week, as well as today's day?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me on the show. Talking about indices, we see there is definitely a positive texture to the market, but however, the resistance at around 19,850 is something we cannot rule out. The support comes at 19,600 zones, so the range is very well defined. Buy on declines till 19,600 and book your profits once around 19,800 to 850 zones. Till we decisively don't breach above 19,850, we are not going to see the upside higher levels of 20,000. So till then, the range becomes very concrete in between 200 to 250 points.
Okay.
Talking about Bank Nifty, we definitely see that 43,300 to 43,500 is a very decisive support. The downslide has come in regards to the RBI, some policy changes. But this is the support zones that we see, and from here a bounce back can happen towards 44,300 to 44,500 again. And for upside higher levels for Bank Nifty, we have to decisively breach above 44,600 zones and sustain for any sort of upside target.
All right. So those are the two key levels to watch out for as far as the Nifty is concerned. Keeping an eye on 19,850, and from the Bank Nifty's point of view, well over the mark of 44,000, 44,500, 600 would be where we likely are to see some bulls being activated. But let's take a look at stocks, and naturally the conversation is going to be around the financials and banks. For now, RBL is one of your relatively smaller banks, which is taking a huge knock in today's day of trade, and it's declined by around 7.2%. SBI Cards is the other large cap stock, which is also under pressure on account of the new RBI norms, which is also down around 6.1%. L&T Housing Finance, IDFC First Bank, SBI, Axis Bank, PNB, Bajaj Finance, Bank of Baroda, ICICI Bank. In fact, the top 15 names in the futures and options space, all of them are either banks or NBFCs, which are reeling under pressure. And that's also the reason why we're seeing a lot of declines, a lot of weakness as far as your Fin Nifty and your Bank Nifty indices go as well. On the gaining end, we are seeing some amount of gains in something like an SBI Life, Interglobe Aviation, Asian Paints. But of course, this is largely on account of the fall in crude prices. So, of course, Interglobe Aviation gets benefits on account of potentially falling fuel prices, and Asian Paints, of course, on account of potentially falling raw materials costs. Besides that, we have Tata Motors and TCS, which is also up and about, but not as much, still keeping the benchmarks in check and in the green. So these are some of the stocks that we are watching out for. What stocks is Shilpa playing on? Shilpa, what are those stocks on your radar this morning?
Very well said. There is definitely avoiding indices. You have a lot of action in many stocks, whether on the long side or on the short side. So I have three buys here. One would be in futures, GMR Infra. GMR Infra is little a positional call, but I believe it is very well placed now for upside targets till 65 to 66. The stock is currently trading at around 58.8 to 59 zones with a stop loss of 55. One can stay long here for targets of 63 to 66 zones. First one would be a buy in GMR Infra.
Okay. Do you have any more picks?
Yeah, I have two more picks, but that would be via options. The one would be in City Union Bank, CUB 150 call option, currently trading at around 3 rupees. Keep a stop loss of 1 rupee. A target of 7 to 9 can be very well be achievable from here. The other one would be a buy in Metropolis. Metropolis 1700 call option currently trading at around 20 rupees. Keep a stop loss of 11 from 18, 11 from here and a target of 35 and 44.
All right. Well, there you have it. Those are some of your very, very interesting calls coming in as far as stocks go. View on GMR Infra, CUB, as well as Metropolis. These are the names that we will be watching out for, which are under Shilpa's radar. And moving in as far as our own markets are concerned, at the moment, well, not much has changed naturally in the last 10 minutes. And the Nifty Bank continues to be under pressure and there's been, well, relentless selling, if I may call it that. Let's not forget, it's also the last week of the trading day. I reckon a lot of traders will be hesitant to take over and carry on their positions into next week. Well, on that note, I'd like to take a moment to thank Shilpa Rout for taking us through her views, as well as well, several data points and what she expects from the markets. And we sign out for now, but don't go anywhere. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BQ Prime.